Hello, this is H.G. Bailey, and welcome back to Let's Play Bravely Default! Let's head on into Vampire Castle. Now that we've defeated the 6 dragons, we got all the keystones so we can get inside. There is one small change I want to make to my setup, and that is I'd like to give white magic to Agnès there to help deal with smaller groups of enemies early in the dungeon than we'll find later in the dungeon. Now, the enemies here give a lot of experience and JP, but they are very tough at this point in the game. So let's go through a secret passage to find the Blood Blade. It's a really good weapon, one of my favorites in the game. Let's see, if you use it as an item in battle, it gives you sword magic drain. Not the black magic variety, mind you. And that'll be very useful for Ringabel later on there. And you could do the same trick that I do with the Thief's Knife, where you could use it as an item, then switch it out for another weapon, and deal a lot more damage. So that's pretty nice. You don't even need access to the sword magic command. Well, we got a blue chest here, but we can't do anything with that yet. And here we got a new enemy, Cerberus, one of the most annoying enemies in this area. Well, it's the most annoying enemy in the area, I think. Because, they can counterattack your physical attacks, so you want to watch out for that. So let's see, let's go... I don't suppose it matters what order we do this in. But, well, you want to do prayer before try stealing from these guys, but yeah. Normally, what I would like to do is use the Thief's Knife, like I had before, to steal from enemies, but I don't want to trigger the counterattack from these guys. Let's see, they also have a fire-breathing attack they can use on you, so you want to watch out for that too. Let's see, but you gotta kill them first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Crescent Moon, even though it's a physical attack, because it's hitting all enemies, it bypasses their normal physical counterattacking, as long as you're hitting multiple enemies. If there's only one of them left, then you'll deal, well, then you might trigger the counterattack if you don't kill them. So let's see, what I'm going to do to work around that is I'm going to use compounding with permacrystals to make Arctic Winds, and that way I'll be getting guaranteed damage every round out of her, and the Crescent Moon should be able to deal the rest of the damage that I need, I hope. Let's see, you can get Demon Tails from these guys. It's nothing extraordinary, but... I mean, we might as well take what we can get. I got nothing better to do. Hey, alright. So yeah, I'm working on the Monk and Pirate job classes for Ringabel and Edea, respectively, because I want to learn the physical attack bonus support skills from those job classes there. I'm also trying to master the job classes for Tiz and Agnès. And once I do that, then I'll move them on to other things. But okay, so we got a new enemy here, Melusine, however you want to pronounce it. But let's see what we got here. Okay, so let's go with... You know, I was thinking about doing prayer first and then examine last, but I might actually kill her with my physical attacks, so let's try to avoid that if we can. Okay, so let's do that, and then I'll switch out the Thief's Knife later. Now, one thing about Melusine is that she is weak to wind. If it wasn't obvious from the previous fight, the Cerberus is weak to ice, so that's why I took advantage of that. But let's go with Aurora there. And then I'm just going to have Ringabel use his regular physical attacks, because I don't have anything better for him to do. And let's see, with Edea, if I ran into a large group of them, I would use double Fairy's Wings to get Tengu Sneeze to kill them, but... well, it's just one, so I won't worry about it unless I absolutely have to do that. Okay, so let's remove the Thief's Knife so I can use the raw attack power of the Giant's Axe, and that should be good. I might... no, I'll have enough damage. Uh-oh, I might have too much damage. Well, I can examine her later if it comes down to it. Yeah. Okay. By the way, with Melusine, you can also steal a Holy Lance from them, so that's pretty nice. It sells for a lot of money. So yeah, you definitely want to try and get as many of those as you can. But, well, not that time, I'm afraid. But alright, the Dragon Fang. Those are also pretty expensive, and they're used in some of the more powerful compounding mixes that I have yet to use. And there we got the last new enemy. Okay, let's see. That is a Magnus bat. And they are weak to, wind as well. And I don't think they have anything extraordinary to steal. You can get remedies from them, but that's about it. Okay, so let's see. Let's go prayer, and then steal from the Cerberus. So I'm just going to steal from both of them in the event that somehow we accidentally kill only the Magnus bat, so I don't accidentally, so I don't accidentally attack the Cerberus and trigger a counterattack. Okay, so with Agnès, let's go with Aurora on the Magnus bat there. And then Ringabel, you go double Crescent Moon. And then to deal with the Cerberus, let's go with, Permacrystals. Again, you could also use double Fairy's Wings in order to deal with large groups of the Magnus bats there. By the way, the Magnus bats can inflict confusion on you, which is why I've got the rainbow robes equipped on almost everyone in the event that we got ambushed. Man, I didn't get the examined in there either. Well, I'll keep on trying. Also, by the way, the Melusine can inflict charm on you, so you want to watch out for that too, but there's not much we can do right now. Just something to keep in mind. Maybe have Agnès use Suna on someone who would need that otherwise. Okay, how are we looking on HP? Oh, wait, well, we didn't gain a level. I won't worry about it until later. Let's go up here, take a look at a painting.
My, what a large portrait. Is that Lord DeRosa?
Well, maybe you should try taking the eye patch off.
His wife was sure an attractive one. Oh, and it says something under the painting.
Like a caption or something?
Lester, eldest son of the House of DeRosa, future clergyman of the Crystal Adventists and cardinal of the Crystal Orthodoxy.
Oh, really?
Born in the land of Eternia on a cold winter's day.
Seems like they got a lot of people who worked for the Orthodoxy.
So, that's his mother, not his beautiful young wife. And that little baby is Lord DeRosa.
Aww.
Clergyman? Of the Crystal Adventists?
I think we heard something about that when we were at Grandship there.
Is something the matter, Agnès?
The Crystal Adventists were the predecessors of the Crystal Orthodoxy. It is now known as the Old Faith.
Oh, okay.
But it hasn't been practiced in over 2,400 years. How could he have been a member of the Adventist clergy?
He's been around a while.
According to this portrait, Lord DeRosa is incredibly old. Even ancient.
He's not that old.
Yes, indeed. For I was born of these frozen lands in a time some 2,400 years from this day.
Holy cow! You got a loudspeaker here or what?
And this portrait?
I was but an infant, as you can see. This is a reproduction, however. The original was lost long ago to fire.
Oh, really? What happened?
And what of the part that reads, clergyman of the Crystal Adventists and cardinal of the Crystal Orthodoxy?
Yes. As Wind Vestal, you would be expected to take interest in such matters. But ere I delve into the matter of the Old Faith and the Orthodoxy, allow me to tell of the founding of this land.
By who?
As you may well know, this land had long been ruled by the Crystal Orthodoxy.
Not anymore.
However, 15 years passed, the Templar rose up and occupied their lands. Thus was the Duchy of Eternia born. Or so I expect you have been taught.
Is that not what happened?
However, the Templar did not found a new state. In truth, he restored an ancient dynasty.
Oh, really?
He did?
Long before the Crystal Orthodoxy ruled this land, it was known as the Kingdom of Eternia. In a time 2,400 years past, Eternia was a bountiful land blessed with 4 distinct seasons.
Not anymore.
The highlands were not as lofty as they are today. People and ideas flowed freely from other lands. The kings of Eternia were protectors of the Earth Crystal and the Crystal Adventists, ruling in peace for generations.
Well, that didn't work out too well for them, did it?
To the west lay the castle of the House of DeRosa, hereditary dukes of Eternia with royal blood in their veins. Relations with the royal family were good, and ever did the kings of Eternia treat the dukes of our house with kindness.
So, what did you do for them?
In return, the House of DeRosa did faithfully serve generations of Eternian kings.
You're not gonna tell us, are you? Okay, never mind, then. But I do want to get another treasure. Safety ring, those will be very useful later on in the game. Hold on to that for instant death protection later in the game. But alright, let's get to the next floor then. If I can ever climb these stairs. There you go. Okay, so at the intersection here, let's take the right path to get one of my favorite pieces of treasure in the game, the Hermes shoes. They're basically the same thing as the Hermes sandals, except they boost your agility by 20. It's huge at this point in the game. So yeah, I want to give that to Tiz there, so that way he can actually examine the enemies before we kill them. And hopefully steal, preferably the Holy Lances, if I am fortunate enough. One thing you may want to do as you're going through this area, after clearing like maybe a floor or 2 of the dungeon, you may want to leave, like teleport out or something. And then you might want to save after leaving the dungeon, so that way you can just take a straight shot to get to the other floors. So you've got another accessory there, but nothing I care about. I forget what that one does. But yeah, especially when you get into the higher floors of the area, the enemies show up in larger groups. Ah, there we go. Yeah, nothing I really care about, but it's there. But yeah, so far I'm doing pretty good. Haven't had any ambushes yet, but I'm sure I will eventually. Alright, and after that battle, we mastered the Black Mage job class for Agnès there to get... Where is it? Game? Let's see, we got Group Cast All. It is obscene in this game. Lets you group cast anything on either all enemies or all allies. You can't do single targeting, though, as long as you have that equipped, but that doesn't matter. It's still obscenely good. You can also do that. The idea is to use that with, like, say, buffing spells or debuffs that are normally single cast only. You can never multi-target them unless you have Group Cast All equipped. So that's pretty nice. But alright, we're done with Black Mage there. And let's see, I want to get Arcanist up to job level 11, if I recall correctly. I'll leave her with White Magic there for now. But yeah, I want to get the Status Ailment Amp ability from Arcanist, which will, well, amplify the accuracy of our status ailments, or debuffs.
What magnificent vestments. This must be none other than Lord DeRosa.
Is a portrait of my ordainment as Cardinal of the Orthodoxy. I was as yet... No, let us move on to other matters.
Oh? What's going on?
I was born of the House of DeRosa, hereditary dukes of Eternia. Blessed was my youth. My parents showered affection upon me, and I was beloved by the people. And the king bestowed favor upon me as well.
Hey!
Upon royal recommendation, I was made a cleric of the Crystal Adventists, the Old Faith, in my 19th year.
Well, that's quite a career advancement at that age.
I devoted my body and soul to my clerical duties, for king, for kingdom, for faith. Sleep became an oft-missed luxury. But before long, A new tide began sweeping through the Crystal Adventists.
Oh, what's going on?
There were those who wanted the clergy to control the 4 crystals of Luxendark, rather than local monarchies and temples.
And how are they going to accomplish that?
That belief formed the core of the Crystal Orthodoxy. The Eternian royal family, keepers of the Earth Crystal, immediately assented to this new way.
Ah, well, okay.
I soon found myself appointed to the position of Cardinal in the Orthodoxy. Me, a mere cleric.
Hey,
Cardinal DeRosa. Those were my days of glory. Even now, the mere sound of the then-new title is dear to me.
aw.
The old faith was remade entirely into the Crystal Orthodoxy, and the decision was made to elect a Grand Patriarch to rule. Thereupon, cardinals throughout the world gathered for a conclave to elect the first Grand Patriarch. Amid the conclave's maelstrom, I was approached by a cardinal who wished for me to vote for his choice.
Well, what about you?
I suppose it was my youth and sincerity that made me reject the notion out of hand.
Ah, well, good for you. Stick up for your values.
But that was my downfall, for I was forced from the position of cardinal by the fraudulently elected Grand Patriarch.
Nuts.
I had been but fervent in my beliefs and ideals. What I did only for the Orthodoxy, and for the people of this world.
Not anymore.
The old faith and the Orthodoxy. The Kingdom of Eternia and the Duchy. That was all a bit hard to follow.
I agree. There are no major differences in teachings between the Old Faith and Orthodoxy. They both revere the 4 crystals.
Well, I thought he was saying, like, the Orthodoxy wanted to directly control the 4 crystals, not just worship them.
I have heard that the Adventists gave way to the new and truer ideas of the Orthodoxy and faded away.
Well, evidently not quite.
No wonder the old faith was abandoned.
Yet there is more to the story, for history is not more than accounts recorded by the victorious.
Well, evidently you're still here.
To solidify their power, the victors showered contempt upon the vanquished.
Who was vanquished?
So it was those who held the reins of power within the Orthodoxy relentlessly pressed for the Adventists' eradication.
Oh,
No one recalls the words of the vanquished if the victorious write them out of history. 'Tis as if they had never existed.
nuts.
I'd been taught that the battle between the 2 faiths had been fierce, and in its wake, devastation persisting to this day covered all the lands.
Oh, really? I thought you just said the Adventists faded away.
That is an uncharacteristically accurate account for the Orthodoxy, save for their false reckoning of time.
I wonder why the Orthodoxy would do that, or take over, and then teach her that, you know, they weren't quite up to that much good with the Adventists or something.
It was after the Orthodoxy had begun ruling the world that the endless conflict with the Adventists began.
How does it even work?
I should know, for I was there to bear witness firsthand.
Lord DeRosa, how could you possibly be that old?
Well, it is a land of immortality. You're not going to tell us how you could live that long, are you? Well, alright, let's keep on going then. What does that even mean, sawing logs? Oh, okay, I've never heard that expression before, but okay, we'll just go with that. Poor Ringabel. Oh, yeah. Well, this game is long. Well, I thought she was asking a question somewhere. But, okay. Well, let's see. There's 7 floors to the dungeon. Of course, we're not going to get through everything today, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so let's see. From here, I think I need to go to the right eventually. I forget if we go there first or not. Let's see what we got. Okay, that didn't help me at all. Maybe we go... Yeah, this way first. There it is. Okay, I don't quite have a map of this area, so I kind of have to wing it a little bit. But there we got the Soul of Thamasa. That's the upgrade to the amulet. It boosts your intelligence by 20. That's huge. So definitely want to hold on to that for later too. Intelligence not only boosts your black magic damage, but it also increases your accuracy with status ailments. Okay, so pretty much with every floor of these dungeons, you're going to find like 1 or 2 treasures on each floor, get to the center, and the center of the floor will lead to the end, with the painting and the stairs as you're climbing your way through.
This one shows a castle in flames.
Uh-oh.
A large army surrounds it. It looks as if it could fall at any moment.
That's...
Is this not this very castle? See, this is the western corridor right here.
Huh, that's weird.
There's another castle burning in the distance. It's near where Eternian's central command is today.
Wow.
So then, that's the Orthodoxy's head temple in flames?
Nay, the distant castle in flames belonged to the King of Eternia. And the castle in the fore.
I thought the King of Eternia was going along with the Orthodoxy.
'Tis the abode of my family, the house of DeRosa.
That's...
But why? Why would such a terrible thing?
The kingdom of Eternia was suddenly beset by a great host from another land.
Oh, what's that?
We would later come to know that it was a 4-state coalition sent by order of the Crystal Orthodoxy.
Ah, nice.
They had been told the King of Eternia sought a return to Adventism and was arming for war against the Orthodoxy.
Why would they betray their own king?
The Grand Patriarchy used this fiction to order a great muster of forces from across the lands. Alas, I failed to heed the many warning signs. I rejected the scheming Cardinal's choice for Grand Patriarch. But he succeeded in luring votes from other factions, and his became the ruling faction of the Grand Patriarchy.
Nice.
It was they who wished to establish Crystal Orthodoxy as the uncontested world religion.
There's another choice?
Under their orders, the castle of the Eternian King was besieged. It fell in mere weeks.
What?
Before long, the great host was at the gates of our castle. And my father lay brutally murdered. The water supply was poisoned.
Whoa.
And the Orthodoxy's forces drew an ironclad ring around the castle.
What do they want from you?
By then, the castle sheltered naught but the elderly, the young, the wounded. There was no hope of resistance. I was forced to sue for peace, even offering my own mother as hostage per their demands. Yet that failed to break the siege.
Okay, so what do they want then?
The commoners who had placed their faith in my family and me slowly starved to death.
That's...
It was then that a letter arrived from a man. That man was the Cardinal, who had sought to influence my vote.
Oh.
The Fiend was now the officer in charge of the attack. He wrote that he would not accept my surrender.
Then why don't they just kill you?
Such was the hatred he bore for me. Such hatred that he was willing to let countless innocents die. My mother had been murdered. Our castle was consumed in flames. That is the painting you see here.
Oh.
How could the Orthodoxy do such a thing?
Well, that was thousands of years ago.
This all reminds me of what happened during the Great Plague.
What do you mean?
Indeed. Perhaps the Templar and I are not so very different. To be betrayed by what you believe in, To have your family and those you protect murdered.
Well, that didn't happen to, what was it? Brave? Or Brave.
Though we do not see eye to eye, perhaps it is a shared sorrow that binds us.
Well, I suppose the king of Eternia was murdered. I guess they're, like, related or something or other. But, alright. Hey, alright. I could use those. Tenju, however you pronounce it. I don't know. But can we reach the top of Vampire Castle? Find out next time on Let's Play Bravely Default. This is H.G. Bailey, signing off. Have a good day.